Lean is a practice that helps the Department of Revenue eliminate waste and run efficiently. Lean isn't about cutting jobs, but it is about improving performance and boosting morale. When we're happy and productive, our customers benefit. Over the next few minutes, we'll look at how the Lean process works. You'll see that Lean is about making small changes to get big results. Oh, I'll be back in a few minutes to tell you more about the Lean projects at the Department of Revenue. Meet Joe. Joe owns a small pizzeria. He learned to make pizzas from his grandfather, and Joe has been doing it the same way for 30 years. He likes the old ways, but some of Joe's customers say it takes too long to get their pizza. Joe decided to bring in a restaurant consultant. Joe hired Cindy. Meet Cindy. Cindy has a black belt in Lean Six Sigma. Her black belt doesn't mean she's trained in karate. It means she's an expert in identifying and eliminating waste in the workplace. Lean refers to a collection of principles and methods designed to help modify a process to run as efficiently as possible. Cindy will apply the Lean principles to Joe's pizza-making process. Cindy begins with a detailed analysis of the existing process. This analysis is very important because you don't want to change a process until you understand it. One method Cindy uses is a customer survey. The results of the survey show that Joe's customers like the atmosphere and service, but they don't like how long it takes to get their pizza. It also shows that Joe's customers love his pizza. Cindy will create a value stream map to illustrate the current state of the process. The value stream map will identify the current steps in the process and provide a format to develop a future state. Joe's process begins with taking an order from the customer. It only takes Joe a minute to take an order, but whenever he's in the dining room, he has to check the candles on the tables and relight any that have burned out. Cindy calls this firefighting, and Joe spends a lot of time doing it. Firefighting counts as wait time, since the process is waiting for Joe to get back to it. Average times for this step are 1 minute of process time and 3 minutes of wait time. Joe makes the dough fresh with every order. He mixes the ingredients, then he kneads the dough. Joe enjoys spinning the dough in the air for several minutes, and this is his favorite part of the process. Toppings are next. Joe retrieves the ingredients from the cooler by the armful. It might take as many as 2 or 3 trips to get everything, and that's a whole lot of wait time. He pops the pizza into the wood-fired oven, tosses in a few logs to bring the temperature up, and heads out to the dining room to do some firefighting. The dining room is full of distractions that create wait time for Joe. It's not just the candles. There are social distractions too. This is so distracting, Joe occasionally loses track of the pizza in the oven and has to start all over again. Steps are sometimes given a percentage to represent the success rate of the process. This step would have a low success rate. Joe personally applies freshly ground Parmesan cheese as he serves the pizza to the customer. They've waited a long time, but when the pizza finally arrives, the customers love it. Looking at the value stream map she developed, Cindy can now see that Joe has 18 minutes of touch time and 14 minutes of wait time in his process. This means the total lead time from taking the order to serving the pizza is typically 32 minutes. No wonder customers aren't happy with the lead time at Joe's Pizzeria. Now that she's developed a value stream map representing the current state, she works with Joe to create a map representing the future state. Together they analyze the areas where Joe spends his time. Lean focuses on what the customer would consider to be of value in a process. Taking the customer's order could be simplified with an order form. They create a new form featuring checkboxes to improve speed and accuracy. The firefighting Joe does while in the dining room does not add value to the customer's experience, and longer burning candles might be an easy solution. This would not only get Joe back in the kitchen making pizza quicker, it would also prevent the distracting trip he makes to the dining room while the pizza was in the oven. The next part of the process is making the dough, Joe's favorite part. Cindy suggests that Joe make dough balls in large batches during the morning and afternoon slow periods. He can then flatten out a dough ball with a rolling pin and be ready to add sauce in less than 30 seconds. Joe is reluctant to change his favorite part of the process, but Cindy reminds him that the extra time he spends does not add value for his customers. The next step is gathering ingredients. The value stream map reveals that a lot of wait time is spent running to the cooler to get ingredients. With a little brainstorming, they come up with a way to make a cold table from the containers Joe already has. So far, they've cut lead time by 30%, and Joe realizes another place to improve the process: pre-prepping the ingredients. Joe suggests that slicing the pepperoni and other ingredients during the morning and afternoon slow period can cut a couple more minutes out of the process. Viewing the process as a value stream map really does help him to understand it. The step with the lowest success rate is baking in the oven. They decide to switch from fresh cut wood to wood pellets, which will provide a much more consistent oven temperature. Together, they estimate the new future state map will improve the process from 85% to 98%, a significant improvement. They're also projecting a lead time of 14 minutes per pizza, less than half the time it used to take. They implement the new process for a few weeks, then gather metrics again. As they convert their previous future state map to a current state map, they discover that some of the estimated times were off by a bit here and there. Adjustments like this are very common. Cindy and Joe continue to gather metrics on the process and include customer feedback. Using lean principles has given them the tools they need to find the balance of old-time craftsmanship and efficiency that satisfies Joe's customers. I love the little pizza guy, and how about Cindy with her black belt? We don't make pizzas here at DOR, but we apply the same lean principles to many of our processes. If you're selected to be on a lean project, it's because the Department of Revenue wants your input. You will be a part of a team working to make that process better for everybody involved, possibly even you. A lean project at DOR is a bit different than the process Joe and Cindy used. The concepts are the same, but more people will be involved and the process will probably have more steps. Here's an example of a value stream map for a recent project at DOR. The yellow bursts are called Kaizen events, and they represent areas of rapid improvement. This project reduced lead time for one part of the process from 2 days, 36 minutes to just 24 minutes. That's a great example of how making several small changes create big results. The team will include a sponsor who owns the project. The sponsor will select a team leader and a skilled facilitator. The team leader is an administrative role that includes preparing minutes and assigning action items. The facilitator manages how people work together and keeps the activities on task and on schedule. Then there are the team members. This is where you fit in. You were probably chosen because you understand the process being reviewed. You bring knowledge that will help the team succeed. The process starts with a charter. The charter defines the project and may specify necessary resources and boundaries. There will be a kickoff meeting where the entire team review the charter and go over the ground rules. In a series of meetings, the team will create a current state map, analyze the map, and then develop a future state map. The next step is an action plan, then implementation. As a lean team member, it's important that you are open to doing things differently. You play a key role in this process, and your input is important. Your team will work together to improve processes that will ultimately lead to better efficiency and higher customer satisfaction. Thanks for agreeing to help, and welcome to Lean.